Greetings, friends. This is Bill McDonald, the Common Sense Math Doctor, and today I'm going to do a third and a fourth grade problem from my little mini practice test that I would recommend that you go over with your students. First, I would recommend that you give them one problem a day. We'll call it a pod problem of day. Have them try it on their own, maybe give them some guidance, some modeling, a little bit of what I might be showing you right here. Then see if they can handle the problem on their own. After that, you'll be able to send them the link to my post either on Facebook or on my YouTube page for kids or parents who don't have social media. So this question came from number 5 from last year's test, one like it, I mean. It got 66% correct. It came from reporting category 2, student expectation 3.4F, and it was a supporting standard. All right. First of all, I think it's important to tell your kids how to differentiate between the problem and the question. The problem has periods. This one has 2. The question has question marks. This one has 1. So when you have enough question marks and periods, you have what's known as a paragraph, which makes things harder for kids. So let's go ahead and start this one by reading the question and the problem. We will underline and label, and since there's no elimination, we'll just be solving it to the best we can. I'm going to be using my blank mathematics chart with place values so I can show you how to help kids understand that vocabulary and keywords do help you, contrary to popular belief. All right, here we go. Mr. Garcia placed a total of 72 sodas into a soda machine. So first of all, when you tell the kids, one of the things, if you find the vocabulary word total in the problem, that means you might be needing to find a part or a piece of something. Our keywords are soda, and we have 72, and we're placing them into one soda machine. He put 9 sodas, number, keyword, into each slot. Well, right away, since sodas and slots are not the same words, when you look at my mathematics chart, it says in the bottom, if the keywords are the same, then usually you'll be adding and subtracting. When they're different, you'll be multiplying or dividing. So more than likely, we're going to multiply or divide here. And our guess, because we saw the word total in the problem, we need a smaller number because we're taking all those sodas and placing them into machines. We're separating them. Let's just double check to see what the question says. What is the total number of slots that Mr. Garcia used for these sodas? Okay. So I want to review with you. I've written on the chart, we've got 72 total sodas. They're placing 9 numbers, keywords, sodas in each slot. So one slot is going to have 9 sodas. And the question was, how many slots? The answer is going to be 8. But what I went ahead and solved that over here to the left. I was really bad at division, so I made a little acronym called Ma's Red, because my mom would get pretty red every time I messed up my division. So if you buy the mathematics posters, they're all on sale, I believe, in my Teachers Pay Teachers, or you can buy them individually. It would make sense to buy them all. Ma's Red, I failed division again. 5 easy steps to dividing numbers. We multiply something, factors, come up with an answer called a product. We'll subtract that product from what we were trying to multiply. We'll have an RE, a remainder, then we'll drop or done. For people that are needing guidance, On the very next page, it shows you how to do Moss-Read with 1-digit quotients and when you need a 2-digit quotient. This first one here, we just need a 1-digit quotient. So let's make sure they understand a couple things about numbers. 72 was our total number of sodas. That's our dividend, what we place in the numerator. It's going to be divided by 9. Our divisor then, our denominator is going to be 9. So dividend is what goes in the box. Divisor is what goes outside of the box. So I placed, this is 3rd grade number 1, Moss-Read on the side to go through the checklist. And the easiest way to do this, instead of writing out the entire multiplication chart, let's just do the one that they're asking. They're only asking us about the 9s today. So we'll write 9 times 0 equals 0. 9 times 1 equals 9. So what we're multiplying goes on the top, and the answer, the product, goes on the bottom. And so we have to keep going. Since 9 cannot fit into 7, we're going to be going by 9s until we make it to 72 or higher. There it is right there. So what you multiply, m, goes on the top, the 8, the answer, the product, goes on the bottom. So that's one thing that's helped my kids when they're working with multiplication. So the next step is you subtract. 72, take away 72, you have a remainder of 0. And Moss-Read says, the D says, should we drop or are we done? Since there's nothing left to drop, that means that we're done. And so the answer is that it would take 8 slots to place 9 sodas inside every single slot 8 times to make up the 72 sodas. And the cool thing about this mathematics chart, since it's laminated, you have a chance to practice grading. And so you can either just have your kids put 8 and then they just stop, or they can put 8.0, or they can say what it's supposed to mean, 8 and 0. You say the number and then its address 0/10. Both ways will work, but whichever way you've been teaching your kids is what you'd want them to plug in. And I think partially the kids got it wrong because they struggle with open-ended responses like this one. Let's go ahead and do the 4th grade, because sometimes a 4th grade, like a 3rd grade supporting, they were supposed to learn that in 2nd grade. That was a 3rd grade problem, but apparently kids didn't know how to group things. I would imagine that a 3rd grader could do what I just did, but if they can't, then you have them take the 72 sodas and then you take out 9 at a time and keep doing that until you make 8 groups. And that's what you do with the kids who struggle. Let's look at a question number 1 from 4th grade. It came from question number 5. It only got 48% correct in the state, one like it. It was reporting category 2, student expectation 4.5A. So, again, we have rules. We're going to read, underline, label, eliminate, explain, and then select the book and the answer and the Scantron. So, reading the problem. Beto needs to run a total of 64 miles this week from Sunday to Saturday. That's my fax machine, just ignore that. So Sunday to Saturday is an entire week. He ran half of the miles on Sunday through Tuesday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that's 3 days. He'll run the remaining miles during the next 4 days. The question was, which strip shows a number, a way to find m, the number of miles that he'll run during each of the next 4 days. That means he has to run all 4 days. So what we have to do is must read again. So if you look here, I've got to go through must read twice here. And as you can see here, it says we're going to go by twos this time until we make it to 6. Yes, we can do that. So step 1 was this one here, which you multiply goes on the top, 3. The answer goes on the bottom, 6. Subtract 6 from 6, you get 0. That's your remainder. And so we'll either drop or we'll done. Since we have something to drop, we drop. And tell your kids a little rhyme. When you drop, go back to the top. So we're going to multiply again. 2 times something to make 4. And there's step 2 right there. What you multiply goes on the top, m. Multiplied 2. Your answer goes on the bottom, 4. So we're going to subtract 4. Subtract 4. Our remainder is 0. And we're either going to drop or done. We're going to be done now. So that means that half, when you take 64 and divide it in 2, half of 64 is 32 miles. Okay? From Sunday to Tuesday on the 3 days. So what the first thing your kids should have done was look at all of the 4 choices, and A, C, and D have the first 3 days taking up half the 32. So I can already eliminate letter B because the 32 is not even mentioned, and it doesn't use M, the number of miles mentioned on the other 4 days. So since letter A has 8 and there's no 4 days, there's no M's, we're going to eliminate that because it doesn't even have the data that we're looking for. So it comes down to letter C or D. Okay? So if you pick C, which is the correct answer, it said how many, what's the way to find M, the number he would do each of the 4 days. So there's 4 M's, 1 for each day, and here's only 1 M. That would mean that you would have to run the rest, the other 32 miles, the other half, in 1 day only. So the best answer is C. So I'm going to put this C there. I'm going to bubble it in. I would probably make a smaller bubble. And then what I've been teaching you lately is as soon as your kids bubble an answer, have them place the letter next to the number and circle them both together so that the one they choose in the book will match the C in the book, and the one they place in the Scantron will match the C in the Scantron. So that's questions 1 and 2 from my 3rd and 4th grade practice tests. And again, I would recommend you do a pod, a problem of the day, where your kids practice. In this case, on both questions, they would be practicing 1 and 2-step division. One just using keywords, and the second one here using a strip diagram. So I hope that you enjoy the lesson. Notice that I've attached the 3rd and the 4th grade link to these tests. If you'd like to go over these with your kids, they're only $1 each until the end of May. I really wanted to help bless teachers who are having to pay out of their own pocket. Do me a favor and share or tag your math teacher friends. God bless each and every one of you. I want to just remind you that since this was a 4th grade question and it was given in the beginning of May, that means after almost 10 months of teaching, not even half the kids knew how to use numbers and keywords to figure out how to dissect the information from the problem and the question to make strip diagrams. So what you might have to do is have your kids make their own strip diagrams from their own problems that they would make up. That would be a fun way to do this during your virus time away from your kiddos. God bless you guys. You're in my prayers.